Ruth Ssekindi, who is here with us. Good evening to you, Ruth, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening.
All right. Now, in brief, what would you say is the current state of human rights in Uganda, based off of the report that you just released today?
Thank you. When we talk about the state of human rights, we have to look at particular thematic areas on, for example, children. Then you look at the situation in regard to children or women or issues of freedom of expression, you know, and the whole nine yards. In this case, in 2024, we looked at a number of thematic areas. We looked at the traders' strike, issues of taxation and the tax burden on traders and the ordinary person and the implication of human rights violations. We noted that when the IFRIS came, there was very limited awareness and education. We noted that traders were agitated. They alleged double taxation, but I think it all came from lack of awareness, limited sensitization, and all that, and the details in the report. We also looked at liberalization of education. Right now, children are going back to school, and the discussion of every parent's on every parent's lips is issues of school fees. School fees has become, you know, a normal conversation like the weather, and because of that, you realize that parents in Uganda have a huge burden when it comes to school fees, and that mainly stems from privatization of education, which is most times not regulated. So schools are coming up with their own tariffs, or, you know, their own scales, and as such the parents or guardians are feeling the pinch, and it's impacting on the quality of education, it's impacting on the learners, it's impacting on the parents themselves. In the same report, we looked at the refugee situation in Uganda, and we looked at how the support on our refugees. We are proud as one of the biggest refugee host country in Africa, and maybe second in the world. And we are proud that we open our doors to persons who are being persecuted or who are having so many issues in their countries. And initially we were receiving a lot of support from World Food and all other organizations. But we noticed that the funding has dwindled, and it is impacting on the government of Uganda. It's impacting on the refugees to an extent that currently some are receiving 14,000, others are receiving 16,000 a month for food. That is very little money to live off, and so refugees are not in a very good condition the way we would have wished them to be. So we have been calling on partners to come back and support. As a country, the refugee challenge is a responsibility for the whole world. Okay. Everyone has to chip in. We also looked at the issue of overcrowding in prisons. As a country, we continue to struggle with overcrowding in our prisons, and we noted that we have laws on petty offenses, rogue and vagabond, idle and disorderly. Even the beggars, we noticed that have found their way in prisons where they are arrested and swept off the streets. And because we are doing this, our prisons are really overcrowded. So we're saying maybe some of these people, petty offenses, they can do community service, and we decongest our prisons. Otherwise, the space in prisons where they are supposed to hold, I don't know, 21,000, and already we have over 80,000 in our prisons. That is almost 4 times the capacity that is in our prisons. Right, so that remains a challenge.
Okay, so then would you say that we are in something that one could say a manageable state of human rights, or are we getting out of hand? Because I was waiting for you to point out the most outlined issue about the armed forces being the top, you know, violators of human rights.
Well, you stopped me in my tracks before I got there. Okay, when we looked at the complaints that we received in regard to human rights violations, we noted that the highest violation was freedom from torture, cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment, and it was followed by child maintenance by private individuals, denial of child maintenance, and then there was the issue of liberty. And the institution that topped the list was Uganda Police Force, but of course we understand that they are the ones who deal with people in conflict with the law on a daily. And then private individuals, and child maintenance, our men actually running away from responsibility. And of course thereafter it was followed by Uganda Prisons. Uganda Prisons has previously been doing so well, so this time they were number 3, and then the UPDF. And as a country we are saying that let's try, we should eliminate, not try, we should eliminate violations such as torture, denial of access to justice, deprivation of the right to liberty.
What will it take to ensure that these issues are eliminated? Because if you are raising the concern as the human rights body, and clearly the people, the watchdog, for all of these crimes or all of these cases that are being reported to you, what do you think it will take to say that some of these cases are once and for all put to bed? Follow the law, as simple as that. Just abide by the legal provisions. The Constitution is very clear. The laws of Uganda are very clear. So if we follow the laws, then we won't have any human rights violations. But the excesses that we will continue to have come from impunity and abuse, which is not warranted. Okay, and so as we conclude this conversation, a very critical story that is on everybody's mind is the recent statement that you wrote to the Chief of Defense Forces ordering him to release Eddie Mutwe or Eddie Sebuwufu. And how did you respond? How did you respond? Because you did see his response in regards to the order of release that you gave out. I think when you look at the order, we followed the Constitution. Like I've said, follow the law, and whatever the order stemmed from the constitutional provision and the powers that we have under the Constitution that give us powers to order the release of any person who is illegally detained. So that is the power that the Commission used, or the chairperson used, to order the release of the detained person, of Eddie Mutwe. Okay. And we are happy that government abided or complied with that order. Okay. Yes. And so as we wrap up this conversation, how accessible are the complaining processes, especially for those people that do not have this knowledge at their disposal, as you give your closing remarks? Oh, the Commission has 24 offices around the country. I can't start listing them around, due to time constraints, but our services are free. You can even call. You just Google Uganda Human Rights Commission, or just we have an app, whichever. If you have a smartphone, you can easily find us. Or even if in Kampala, you can find us in Masaka, Jinja, Soroti, Mbale, and all these other places, Moroto, Mbara. So you can walk in, you can give us a call. It's toll free. You won't even be charged. But most importantly, it is free of charge, and we have competent lawyers who will be able to attend to you and address your concern. All right. Thank you, Ruth Ssekindi. And